Hi, everybody. We're live here with the Skin Games, and I have icon and master mentor Danne M. King here. And he is we're so excited. Darnay, we are so excited that you're here today.
Well, I'm glad to be here, Jennifer Rosenblitz. And by the way, you forgot the Montague hyphen King. The whole title.
Why don't you tell us exactly how you like it said?
It's okay. I don't care.
Danne Montague King.
Honey, I'm so old, I'm beyond any of those small vanities.
Well, I say that you are master icon because, you have over 50 years in this business. And why don't we start out by, how did you decide to get into professional skincare?
I don't think I decided. I think it came to me. If you ever read my book, which you have, The Maybelline Prince, plug, Amazon.com, or Audible, it tells the whole journey. And there's a lot of sex, rock and roll, celebrities, and ordinary people in it. It kind of describes the answer to that question. When my early bouts of acne as a kid are true, that you've read about in the press, and that did kind of put me into a mental mindset that if you can change someone's exterior epidermis, you can change their life, literally. And I just kind of went along with that over the years. And I guess I became a journalist first. I started writing scientific articles that were published all over the world. And then people would call me up or fax me. That was back in the days of the fax, not email. And say, oh, do you have any classes about what you're saying? And so on. And I would say, well, I can come up with something. And it just kind of developed that way. So it wasn't a sit down, take a choice. Well, I'm going to be in professional skincare. In fact, I even hate the word skincare. They're telling me to talk louder. Is this better?
What would you like instead of skincare? What would you say?
I would say skin revision. Reason being, and that's become a buzzword, but it really started out with what we are doing is we're taking skin back to the way it was meant to be. Everything anybody looks at in the mirror, like hyperpigmentation, wrinkles, neck hanging like a turkey, any of that is just defense mechanisms of the skin trying to defend itself against the attacks of environmental surroundings. Look further down on the body to tissue around the areola of a woman's breast, for example, and you see much smoother, tighter, younger, brighter skin. Well, that's their real age. That's been covered by clothing, which protects them a lifetime. So when we say revision, what we mean is to revise all of the damaged tissue back to the way it was meant to be and let it take over. The body is very reparative. It will do marvelous things in healing itself if you give it half the chance.
Well, that's very true. I think that you're probably the only one that is using skin revision. I haven't really heard that from too many other skincare lines.
Well, the reason I came up with that term was almost a legal thing. Because this industry, particularly in America, is so litigious and so rule-ridden, and and a lot of therapists are afraid they'll end up, just doing a cleanse job or something. So we get such radical results, and have for all these years, that a lot of doctors actually become upset when they see before and after photos and things like that. Well, that you used surgery there, or you did? No, we didn't. So we have to explain what we're doing. We're not changing anything chemically. We are merely revising. That's where we come up with our remove, rebuild, protect, maintain, our 4-tiered concept. Because basically that's what we're really doing. We're removing the damage. We have many ways to do that. We are rebuilding the tissue by offering the new baby cells what they need for food. And then we protect the damage, because we've got a very bad atmosphere now. That ozone layer is going away more and more every year, and it is not coming back. So radiation from sun is far more carcinogenic than it ever was in my whole lifetime. And then after that, maintain it at home for a lifetime. Basically, that's what we do: remove, rebuild, protect, maintain. And we revise back to the way nature originally was meant to be. And then the body and the skin kind of takes over with these kind of tools and this kind of help. It's a very simple concept, really.
Well, let me know, do you have any mentors? Like you got started at a young age. You must have some mentors. You are the mentor for so many, but you must have.
I'm being called a mentor all over the world now.
Yeah, you are.
Oh dear. Yeah, I do kind of. I never met one, but he inspired my whole life. And well, there's two, three actually. The one that inspired me the most was Nikola Tesla, and
Mm.
that was ruined by our country. That genius. I mean, his. I've got a lot of his secret files that have been released and printed, and some of his lab work and physics and all of that. And he, as a little kid, I was just fascinated by the vision that this man had. And I'm so thrilled that Elon Musk is now vindicating this genius by some of the things that are happening today with Tesla's formulas, apparatus, and so on. The second one I was going to meet through the Harvey Milk Foundation. Stuart Milk was a very good friend of his, and he told me, he says, well, when you come to England next time, Danne, I'll take you over to Cambridge, and I'll introduce you to Stephen Hawking. And I think you two would get along because you kind of think alike, you talk alike. And that was so funny because I really always admired Stephen Hawking, and then he passed away unexpectedly. So, and then the one that really got my mind thinking, and the power of plants, the phytopower, botanicals, was an old Indian shaman. And I never knew him beyond any other name but Clarence. I mean, go figure. Clarence, right? And he taught me how to think in peripheral ways and not in tunnel vision. And that all plants have a bioactivity that has many purposes or a single purpose. So that's where I got my crazy mind for formulatory. That's how I formulate.
Was he the one, Johnny, was he the one that was at the ingredient panels for the Skin Games?
Oh, no, you're no, you're not in American Indian.
Oh.
No, that's Dr. Laconde.
Okay.
Honey, he is brilliant. He's
Yeah,
young.
he was very interesting.
Oh, you have no idea the depth. If I were younger, I probably would be looking up to him and his vast knowledge of alchemy. When I say alchemy, I'm not talking about, convert base metal into gold or anything like that. There is an alchemization with plants that is taught in India, and he's a master of that. I can depend on him with almost anything. But since I'm old and he's young, classically he has to look up to me, and that's the way the culture is in that country. But you're right, he was brilliant. But
Hey, I just
that's
have
it. That's the inspiration.
That's it. Hey, just so in that audience out there, Laura, you were supposed to go to your email and click a link so that you got onto the program in the lobby with the others. So we'll be waiting for you there. Anyway, so Darnay, the probiotics is all the rage these days. And I know that you were doing some kind of experiment, or what do you think about probiotics and probiotics for the skin?
Everything eventually is going to become all the rage someday, and except history repeats itself over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. If you want to be actually truthful and you want to adjust the microbiome of your epidermal tissue, you can slap yogurt on, except it doesn't smell very good for a few hours. It's really hard to put makeup on over and everything. I think any of these crazes are mostly crazy. They're buzzwords. They're bullshit. I mean, it's a trend to sell products on. But I'm compelled to address this. My business partner, Randy Larson, everybody's talking about this. You've got to do something. So I started researching pro and pre. Don't forget the prebiotics and pro. And yes, now I'm only doing this for certain specific reasons, Jennifer. There are skin conditions and health conditions that do require an adjustment of the microbiome of the surface of the skin. Eczema, other things, we could go on. And that's where I'm working. However, I damn well know that when I launch our pre and pro, probably in a few months, that they'll sell it to everybody. They'll sell it to a 16-year-old girl with no pimples. Everybody will have to buy it because it's popular. When in fact, most of your bacteria on your skin is self-adjusting and fighting the bad bacteria all the time anyway. Otherwise, you'd be running around with rosacea-like flushes and rashes and everything else. Let's use common sense, people. Don't fall for every gimmick that comes along. No, everybody doesn't need a probiotic on their skin. Inside, hell yes. Very important inside. America's the
You're just saying it's kind of like the buzzword now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had to address it, but I have to be truthful. Now I have to launch this sucker in September in Australia. We don't have the products yet. They're in test trials. They're pretty good, though, I must admit. One comes in the form of a mist. That is the pre. What that does is set up the necessary friendly bacteria on the tissue. And then the one after that is kind of a thin yogurt gel type serum. That's a weird word, but it kind of is. That you spread over. Both disappear immediately. And it is to keep the friendly bacteria in place all day long. So you got your pre and your pro. I'm not going to go beyond that because anything more than that would be complete fake news. I will not do that. We got enough fake news.
Well, let me ask you. So, Darnay, you had quite a showing in the Skin Games with a lot of your fantastic estheticians out there that use the DMK line. What do you have for us this year?
Well, I'm going to have to make this announcement right now. And I did write notes on this because I've been asked this question before. It's not about DMK or other brands' team. That's a very short-sighted and self-defeating and unsustainable, idea. It's about raising the level of aesthetics in America and around the world, and that's why we believe in Skin Games. It's about the professional therapist taking a real human client through a series of treatment that not only builds the confidence of the therapist, that's very important, but more importantly, that of the customer. DMK has done several case study contests over the decades. I've been involved in these contests before, never thought that much about it until now. We naturally thought the Skin Games was a platform that shares our same core values of promoting the therapist first, not the company. Do you agree with that, Miss Rosenblum?
I absolutely agree with that. I think it's fun to when people kind of get together and have that camaraderie and stuff like that. But I think it's true. It's about, the esthetician and the results that they can get by kind of thinking outside of the box. That's how I feel.
When I pushed you to open up the international barriers after the first year, it was simply because I knew that some of these people would just top everybody simply because of their practice and the fact that they went to aesthetic school for 4 years and not 3 months, this kind of thing. But what I really was thinking is, let's help Jennifer up the standard. So the next videos that come through, the next contestants that come through will do their utmost best, spend extra time, extra money, whatever it took to get in the running. And that's exactly what happened. It's going to be terrific this year. I just have a funny feeling it's just going to.
Well, Darnay, I can tell you that I think DMK really upped the standard. And I think that's necessary in our field. I think we need to up our standard all the time.
And that's the main purpose. Outside of that, I don't really care. God bless them all. I hope anybody who's really, really good. That one Ukraine person, it was everything to them to come to America. Everything. There was political aspects that you can't even realize when you're living under the threat of the Russian army and all that stuff that was going on, and them to be invited to America in a major competition and win a category. That you have no idea how that resonated with people. It was a fantastic thing. And this is what I think about it. It's not, or we have so many people. I don't even know who we have that are entering. To be honest with you, I don't think that way. I'm too busy.
Oops, are you still there?
I'm here.
Looks like there's a little bit of a.
What happened?
Okay, there you go. We had a little bit of a problem there for some reason. Okay, and then let me just ask you. I'm going to
probe. They're watching me.
Oh, sorry. Let me ask you, Darnay, I need to know, do you have any beauty secrets?
What about my new developments? You're supposed to ask me that.
Well, my internet's getting kind of weird over there, and I wanted to make sure we got to our people in the lobby. So, but yeah, if you want to tell me about the on developments, let me just bring somebody up really quick. And we're going to split it up a little bit. I'm going to bring Richard Maher up here to
I love Richard. Hi,
let's see,
Richard.
Hey, Richard.
Hi.
Would you like to ask Darnay a question? You get one question to ask Darnay. We're splitting it up a little bit through my questions, and we want to add you now.
Well, it sounded like you were about to ask my favorite question, which is what is coming new from DMK? What are some upcoming developments?
Along the lines of what I just spoke about, it will be the pre and probiotic products and tools to address people that are deficit in those areas. That's what's coming up, and that will be launched hopefully in a few months. I have to talk about it in Australia at the annual DMK Awards in September, but we won't have the products in hand until shortly after that. Right now, it's going through clinicals and also all the lab testing that's required too, as you well know. Didn't
How
you
far
ask
out?
if I had any beauty secrets?
Oh no, we're gonna get back. Yeah, but Richard, did you want to ask him if he has any beauty secrets?
I definitely.
I'll tell everything. All right.
I am down for any secrets that Danne can share. I mean,
All
your
right.
book was really an inspiration.
Well,
I really
I
feel
know-
the results I got in the skin games were because of DMK. So any secrets you're willing to share, please
right.
share.
Darnay, I know one of your
Okay,
secrets
wait,
is
consider
Darnay, I know
consider
one
the
of your secrets is lighting.
No, it's not. Well,
You
here
told
it is.
me.
But no. 75 years old. I do an injection every morning called human growth hormone. I do an injection once a week called testosterone. I use all of my own treatments and products. Never have used anything else. When I do my enzyme treatments, I hang upside down on an inversion bench like a bat, which startles my gardeners if they happen to be on the estate that day. I have eaten a high protein diet for many, many years, and I take about 110 or more supplements throughout the day that are carefully selected for me. I don't just grab everything because it's popular. That's my secret. Oh,
Well,
and I dye my hair. My hair would be pure white everywhere.
Well,
Well,
through
I'm
your
gonna-
dreams, I can start doing that beauty routine at some point soon. Sounds like a good wellness routine you got going.
Well,
Thank you for
what,
letting me
Richard,
on.
it is a pain in the ass because it does take time. But I feel obligated to everybody out in the world who's bought into my concepts all these years. You have to look like what you do, or don't be doing it. That's my take. So,
Love it.
well,
Thank
my
you.
husband doesn't care. Well, he says he does. We'll see.
so Richard, I'm going to hide you for a second. I'm going to bring up Danielle.
Oh, is it Danielle there?
Yep. Oops, hold on.
God, she is such a Valkyrie, such a blonde bombshell.
She is. She is quite a. Here, where did she go? There she is. Hi, Danielle.
Hi,
Hey,
Danielle.
Danielle, do you have a question for Darnay?
Hi, Danne.
Hi, gorgeous. How are you?
I'm doing great. Miss you. I do have a question. Hang on, I wrote it down.
Uh-oh.
Is right. So, how about this? What motivates you to keep going year after year?
You
Good
do,
one.
and all the other people around the world, all those wonderful people out there in the dark who have never forgiven me if I desert them. Oh, I'm just kidding. Gloria Swanson, Sunset Boulevard. What it really is, you people. I often think, oh, I'm so damn tired, but I got to get up and go because they're expecting it, and they're expecting the very best. And my biggest fear is if my cognitive abilities start to fail me, and vocal and brain power, and I can forget too much, that I'll look like a fool in front of everybody and let them down. So, I pace myself very, very carefully nowadays. I don't party like I used to when I go on these long tours. It's the stage and then the hotel, just like Judy Garland and the rest of the old bags that became divas, and Cher. I have to tell them, Cher, that you really do go to the hotel after an argument, whatever. But it is the reason I keep going. Without the people there, I'd stop, or I'd shove, give Drew, my nephew, my wardrobe, or have one duplicated and let him do it.
A rolling stone gathers no moss.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that.
I said a rolling stone gathers no moss.
That is true. She's comparing me to the Rolling Stones now. Oh my God. Stuart?
None of that. We're going to inject you with adrenaline, and then when that gives up, we'll just do like Weekend and Bernie's thing.
Well, I could buy a few things from your farm too,
That is always a possibility.
She has a very good farm, Jennifer, by the way. So anyway.
Hey, Danielle, do you have any other questions? Because I'm going to bring up Laura Condon next.
Oh my God, Laura Condon.
I know it's time for a Jersey girl. No, I don't think I have any more questions, and I think
I'll just add her right now I'll keep you up there, Danielle. Oh, there she is.
Hello, hi.
Hello, honey. How are you?
Well, I'll see you next week.
We'll see you next week when you bring Entertainment Tonight right
Yeah.
here to the center. Yeah.
Yes.
That's incredible. Thank you so
I'm
much.
excited.
You are a fire starter, just like Jennifer, in a different way. You have a way of doing things.
I'm trying.
Hey, Laura, do you have a nice question for Danne?
It's so hard to think of a question, but so I was wondering, in all your travels, have you found other countries that either A, add their own little twist to DMK that makes it unique or maybe indigenous to their culture, and or any other countries that you've been to that you found really cool things, beauty services or techniques or just something that made it very unique that you already haven't added to your, like the herbs? I know you add a lot of those herbs to your products and botanicals.
Yes. As a matter of fact, well, I have to say England simply because Suzanne Williams is very much into hospital work with DMK and oncology. So they're doing a lot of things where they literally mix prescription medicine with the DMK prescriptives to overcome people in a lot of trouble, And then let's just move to China, which is growing by leaps and bounds. They do DMK the classic way that they're taught, but they go even further than that. They are so precise. Everything is a formality. Their uniforms, their nurse hat, their coverings, everything they do is exactly precise, way over the top, way over what I would ever expect from anybody. And they've added that to it. And it seems to fit in very well because I learned being in China that a traditional Chinese medicine and DMK are very similar in concept. And that's an ancient approach. It's all based on homeostasis, yin yang. And they really take that literally. So when I'm in a room visiting a doctor's clinic that does DMK or an esthetician's clinic, they ask all these questions about levels in their body and right and left and top and bottom. They go through this whole thing and then do the appropriate treatment after the diagnosis. So that to me is quite unique. I don't know if we could get anybody else to go this far. I mean, it's the mentality of the Chinese, collective mentality.
Danny, I mean, did you just realize, Danny, that the people that I brought up here are all winners of the Skin Games?
Woo woo!
I know.
Did you know that?
I know.
I just was looking at him like, oh my God. So we got the win.
I sat there.
Oh, first place.
I sat right there. Listen to this, Jennifer. I sat right there as a judge, looking at this Jersey girl who said that the design on the carpet at her feet reminded her of boobs. And during
I found my soulmate in Danne.
I thought, I got to meet this person. I got to talk to her.
I know. Everybody said, oh, it's oxygen. And I'm like, it's a nipple.
Yes, that's true. And here we are. Here we are today.
Well, I'm going to pull one of these because I can only put 4 up at a time. So I want you guys all to say, here, I'm going to bring up Richard really quick. Richard, there you are. So Richard, where are you right now anyway?
I'm at the Aesthetic Everything Beauty Expo in Scottsdale, Arizona. So.
Oh, okay. Okay, I see the people in the background. Hey, Darnay, why aren't you there?
I'm sitting, I don't know. I'm sitting in my lab. We're working on the I'm busy. Oops, there goes my.
Well, anyway, I want to know, like, if you guys have any other questions that you think other people might want Danne to tell us about, or and then I'm going to bring up Danielle one more time. So do you guys have anything else that you think, or why don't you tell us one thing that you think is so great about DMK and Danne Montague King Blatz?
I'm going to release my Playgirl Centerfold picture one day.
I'd like to see that.
I'll show it to you. You won't believe it.
It's so weird.
Why don't we start with you, Richard? Can you tell us one thing that you think is so great about Danne or DMK?
Both Danne and DMK, they're synonymous together. It's all a family. Having him and Drew and the support that they've had has been amazing. But the fact that Danne will always accept you for who you are, but also tell you how it is. He'll always be there to to tell you what you need to hear when you need to hear it, and to give you the advice that's necessary. And that's true for everybody who he surrounded himself with as part of that environment and atmosphere.
Thank you, Richard. I really appreciate that more than you can know.
Thank you, Richard.
Thank you.
Hey, Laura, what about you?
Go to Danielle.
Okay, and where
I'm
is she?
looking for something.
Danielle? I'm not sure if you could hear us when you're not up there, but we wanted to know, like, what sets DMK and Darnay apart from everybody else?
Honestly, I think it's the level of education you get with DMK. I had become a dermalogica expert very early on in my career. I, maxed out with PCA and their full level of education that they offered. And when I got with DMK, it was like starting at square one. For the first time ever, I really had to study and pay attention, and there were no easy answers. And that just drove me so hard. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm come to find out I'm a big old skin geek. So this just really, I guess, scratched that itch for me. And just the change in my client's skin that I've gotten over the last couple of years has been absolutely phenomenal. So that right there, and just like I said, the support of Danne and his brilliance, and the fact that he pulls no punches and they don't sugarcoat anything is, and you just can't get it anywhere else. It's as original as it comes, and it just works.
Oh, thank you, Danielle. Thank you.
No,
Well, I
you
always
did.
knew you were a bright button the minute I saw you. Those eyes of yours and that energy just glowed. I knew it had to be directed somewhere. But yes, I think the secret of our company worldwide is the ongoing education, because it always is ongoing. It never seems to end, and we're building new classes even as I speak. So, but thank you for that. Appreciate that much.
Yeah. Hey, I'm in the process of opening a larger location right now. So I'm in the works of negotiating my lease for 1,492 square feet.
Wow.
Nice job.
Yeah. Cool.
I'm going from 288 square feet to 1,492.
That's a big deal.
Mama. Woo. You go, girl.
Yeah.
That's great.
Time to hire a staff.
Well, thank you, Danielle, and hopefully we'll be seeing you soon. I'm sure all year, as you are. I think last year you were a judge for the Skin Games, so hopefully we'll be looking forward to that again this year. So let's end up with Laura. It's your turn now. Give us your all right now.
All right. Well, I was having a conversation with Drew last week, and he sent me a message that I thought totally gave this answer to your question, Jen, but I needed to find it in my text. So here it is. And this is Drew responding to how I was saying DMK and Danne changed my life. And Drew said, Danne completely changed the direction of my life years ago for the better. And I feel this is true for all of us. He gave me an opportunity and I never looked back. He's been crowned the Enzyme King by media and others over the years. I always thought that had a double meaning. One for the obvious, but the second, enzymes are the catalyst for all molecular activity. When certain enzymes are present, certain deliberate specific activity happens. To me, he is the catalyst that has changed my life for the better in so many ways. He truly is the Enzyme King.
Oh.
And isn't that amazing? And I was like, you should have said that at his birthday party.
Yes.
Oh, but you did say something really
It's
nice.
better than hearing Steve Jobs.
Yeah, exactly. So there's really no one easy answer, but I thought that was like one of like the best explanations I ever heard.
Wow, Laura, thank you so much. It's probably kind of late over there in New Jersey, huh?
No, 7:30.
Okay, well, it's Friday, so I'm on the keto diet, so go have a glass of wine for me. Okay?
I'll have one for everyone.
Yeah, it's been a whole week, no wine, a whole week. Yikes. Anyway.
Russian bot. Who is it? Is it it?
So thank you. Well, I just want to know, I know that there's a lot of people from other countries coming to the Skin Games this year.
Yeah, boy.
And so far I saw Ireland, South Africa, obviously Ukraine, and
Russia.
UK, Russia. I mean, is there any other hidden surprises out there?
I'd love Spain to show up for once, at least do body sculpting because they lead in that. That would be great. And even the Norwegians, come on, they're one of our oldest. Get out here, okay, you Ben Barney.
Yeah, I would like to see who was it that China, but you said China's just going to have their own skin game. Didn't you say
what? I bet you I can taunt Ada Lou into sending a whole plane load. That's what she does. She sends plane loads of DMK therapists to South Africa, to Australia, just on a whim. So I'll light that little fire under her. That would be great.
Yeah, I think you're a fire starter too.
I am. That's we recognize each other, darling.
Well, Darnay, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us today. Everybody's very excited. I see lots of comments in the comment section that I haven't really, because I put my contacts in, I told you earlier, and I can only see out of this eye and not this eye. So that's why I tried. I went through like 20 contacts to try to, I can't do it. Forget it. Forget about it. Anyway.
Some of them aren't bots.
Yeah, I can't do it. It's awful. Now I got to try to get this thing out. That's going to be even more time. But anyway, I hope everybody has a great weekend. And Darnay, thank you so much. And we'll be seeing you soon.
Be seeing you soon, baby. Thanks so much. I really appreciated this opportunity. Bye-bye.
Bye, Enzyme King.
Bye.